Health Support Services Manager Nate Nimtz and Behavioral Health Consultants Kaitlyn Wixom. Welcome back.
Yes, glad to be back.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Good to see you guys.
Yeah, you guys too.
How did the end of your year finish up for you guys over at the center?
It was a good finish. Yeah. A good finish, yeah, for sure.
I was amazed how many patients you guys see in a
I
year.
know,
It's just
I know.
Staggering
Yeah,
amount.
I think like 130,000.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. Visits, that's visits.
Visits,
but yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Yeah, and we're still dealing with COVID, obviously, at the center, and we've got the seasonal disorders and the flus and the RSVs, and it's that time of year for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And all that, of course, all that affects your mental health. Right?
Yeah, we were talking earlier about some of these illnesses that you have, like say RSV or whatever, can linger 3 weeks, and it's just hard to deal mentally with that as well as physically. Talk a little bit about Nate, an overview of these mental health services offered.
Yeah, of course. So we have 4 what we call behavioral health consultants at our main office at our 505 location. So really our behavioral health consultants do a hybrid of traditional one-on-one therapy and then what we call health coaching. Health coaching is more of like a brief focused intervention, and we do it for a variety of reasons. Things like crisis intervention, anxiety, depression, but also chronic condition management. I always like to think of the behavioral health consultants really as the behavior experts, right? So they really help with a lot of things outside of your traditional, what we think of as mental health. And then of course we also have our school-based health centers, which 2 of them are now open. We have Parkside opened a couple months ago, and then Northwest is now open as well. And at both of those sites, we do have behavioral health consultants as well. So we kind of follow the same model of care at our school-based health centers, our integrated care, collaborative care model. So we have a medical provider, a behavioral health consultant, and of course our clinical support teams.
How does that work, Nate? Is that something where a parent is involved?
So yeah, every student. In order for us to see a student, there's paperwork and things that are filled out, but we talk really closely with the schools and always encourage students. If you need to be seen, come down, we'll call the parent if need be. But essentially what it is the students can come down and see their doctor, they can even see a therapist without their parent present. So it's really great. It's a really great model of care with the school-based health centers because it allows a lot of kids to be seen, without their parent being present. And I think without that service, I think there's a lot of kids that might not be seen or might go unseen. So
middle school, ooh, tough.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. So that's crazy. Thinking about all the challenges that go along with middle school. Winter blues, is that real, or is that something we just use as an excuse?
That is very real. It actually affects about 10 million Americans, throughout the year.
I get the winter blues.
Right?
Yeah,
I do.
It is very common.
There's science behind it too about the amount of sunlight that we get.
Yeah.
So it actually kind of drops your serotonin levels, which is, again, the happy hormone. So if you're looking at less sunlight, less serotonin, you feel more depressed.
Yeah.
Financial stress with the holidays contributes to that. Family stress. Holidays can be really hard for some people, so that also adds to that as well.
So, and what we're talking about is, they call it seasonal affective disorder, or SAD. So, it is actually, what's really interesting is it's most common in the northern states in the United States, which makes sense.
Yeah.
But so Michigan, definitely, and that's a combination of the weather, less sunlight, all those things.
Yeah, we can't just walk outside and go down to the beach and fish off the pier
We
like
sure
the folks in
can't.
Florida were talking about.
Now,
we can dream about it.
Typically when you go in for whatever, even if it's the flu or whatever you're being seen for, you do ask mental health questions.
Yeah, we actually are now, that's something that we ask at every visit, regardless of what you're there for. And it's both anxiety, depression, both those things, just because they fluctuate so much throughout the year, right? And they fluctuate based on circumstances and what's going on in our lives.
Talk a little bit about self-care and the importance. What is it? Maybe advice for parents who have those teenagers.
So self-care is very important, and it's not just, taking bubble baths and going shopping for yourself, which is what we think of, right?
Yeah.
But just taking care of ourselves. It is very emotional, physical, spiritual. It's setting boundaries, not only for yourself, but with those kids too, especially parents that have their kids home for 2 weeks now that a lot of them are on winter break. Saying no, setting boundaries, making time for yourself, engaging in a hobby, spending time with friends, being social. Those are all super important things. Saying no to things that you don't want to say yes to is another huge emotional boundary for self-care. Physically, we're talking eating right, doing something with your body, moving, walking, yoga, getting enough sleep, especially with those kiddos. Sleep schedules are super important. I know a lot of parents let their kids stay up late. That then affects the parents because they're not getting enough sleep. And then spiritually, if you're religious, it can be going to church or watching a service, being in nature, connecting with the world, meditation. So all of those things can be considered self-care.
But it's important to continue that, because the more you avoid, deeper you can go.
Absolutely. Another really big thing with that is mindfulness as well. And what that is just kind of being aware of yourself, your surroundings, and being present in your moment. Because that's where we get anxious and depressed. We're either worried about the past, worrying about the future, and we're not living for ourselves right now.
Yeah, everyone, the first of the year, it's like, oh my God, I got to do my resolutions, my list of things to do, and you get overwhelmed.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So is there, you have, I understand, an exercise to help us with mindfulness.
Yes, so I have a little mindfulness activity that I want us to go through. So you don't have to talk, get comfortable, you're gonna stay seated. We're going to start by just kind of focusing on your breath. So I want you to take a deep breath, get comfortable in your seat.
And you can close your eyes if it's helpful.
Yep. And then I want you to grab a cup or just whatever you want that is in front of you, just something to feel, be aware of your moment. So I want you to take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And if your mind starts to wander, just kind of softly bring it back to the moment that we're in. I want you to feel whatever's in front of you or around you, whatever's in your hands. And what does that feel like? Is it hot? Is it cold? Cold.
Are your eyes closed?
No, because I need to be able to see everything that's going on.
Is it heavy? Is it light? So you're focusing on what's in front of you.
They want me to close my eyes up there, but I need
Eyes are supposed to be closed.
No, if you want, was the instruction.
Bring it back,
Yep.
gentlemen. Mindful.
Back to
We're
our
in the
moment. We're being mindful.
Okay.
And so, is it hot? Is it cold? What does it smell like right now? The moment that you're in, what does it smell like? Do you hear anything?
I hear Noah laughing upstairs.
Okay.
I smell coffee.
Yeah.
I had
Coffee's
my
the
eyes
best
closed.
smell.
I opened them when I heard yours were open. They're closed again.
And then, it can be taking a taste of whatever's in front of you. What does it taste like? How does it feel in your mouth? What sensation are you getting? Textures.
Diet Coke. Oh my God.
And then the goal is to be mindful in that moment. So focusing on your breath, breathing. So right now, were you worried about anything else?
No.
Were you stressed by anything else? Were you feeling down? No, you were present in your moment. And so the goal is at the end of the activity is to reflect on how that made you feel, what you were feeling, and what you can do to continue focusing on being mindful.
I like it. It's important.
And it's
I'll
great
do it.
for
We'll
kiddos.
do it. I'll do it again later, not on TV.
Right?
But meditation people there's a lot of people that meditate, like your J.J. McCarthy. He sits under the goalpost for 20 minutes before the football game.
Absolutely.
Yep.
That's great for kiddos
Minds
too.
it into existence.
Awesome. Well, thanks for the help.
Thank you, guys.
All the great things you guys are doing at CFH.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Glad to be here.
From the Center for Family Health, Support Services Manager Nate Nimtz and Behavioral Health Consultant Kaitlyn Wixom. More of the morning show in just a couple minutes.